Hi, Dawn Lewis here, and today I have a Mama Elephant project for you. And yes, I got carried away with the Carried Away stamp set. I made 2 cards because I'm boosting my birthday card stash. And of course, here it is, the Carried Away set, and I'm using my Misty so I can double stamp. This is a paper pad I got from the dollar shop. I'm using a couple of shades of green cardstock, white cardstock, vellum, some Express It blending card. I'm stamping with Memento Tuxedo black ink today because I'm using a variety of Copic markers. I've got a piece of twine that's just out of my stash. I'll be using my blade, Sizzix with cloud dies, some gems, double-sided tape, little scissors. I might throw in a post-it note. Here we go. I did sketch this up first because I wanted to get my idea down. I love this geo paper and it just was a fantastic border. It means that there's not too much of the card to actually fill in. I'm stamping on blending card because I'm colouring with Copic's. Blending card is my favourite, and Memento Tuxedo Black will not bleed or ruin my Copic markers. I like to double stamp, but I am going to stamp my greeting with archival jet black ink because it's not going to come in contact with any Copics. And speaking of Copics, you can find the colours that I've used in the right hand corner of your screen. I've used my favourite, my fairly standard stock skin colored colors, a reddish brown for his hair and the bear, and I decided I'd go with green and blue. I know they say blue and green should never be seen without a color in between, but I love blue and green together. I think it's really nice. So it's blue and green. Deal with it, people. The colouring the balloon it feels like it's just never going to blend, but when it gets down to the end, I was really happy with this one. It came up really well. You'll notice I moved the cardstock, not the scissors, and oh gosh, I wish fussy cutting was that fast in real life. I think maybe one day I'll invest in the dies for this one. I'm using scraps today because it's my mission this year to use up a lot of my leftovers. So I'm matting the greeting on some dark green basil cardstock, and then I'm going to use a slightly lighter green for my card base. I just happen to have some green basil in a card base size, so that's what I'm using. I'm trimming down the pattern paper and popping some 3mm adhesive on the back. And then I will check my card base is the right way up before I stick it down because, I don't like sticking things down upside down. I did decide a second mat was needed for the greeting just to give it a little oomph, and there is quite a bit of black in that geometric print. So I added some black, and you can tell this is left over from an old project. I've probably been using that piece for years. This is some foam tape, and I've just centered the greeting on the front of the card there, and now it's time to put the colored images together. I'm only going to peel off the very end to start with on that balloon, and I'm tying a loose knot in some twine. You could use all sorts of different strings for this, and the adhesive is going to hold it at the back there. I'm going to peel off all the rest of the release paper and get my balloon in place first. And then I'm just playing around with how I'm going to place the string. So it looks like this little guy is actually holding on. I'm using my Tombow mono adhesive to hold that string in place. It's so good and strong. It will stick pretty much anything to anything. I'm also putting a little on his hand so that it stays in place there. And I'm going to trim down the string and give it a little curve. Now, it just wasn't sitting how I wanted, so I glued it in place. I love card making. I'm also sticking that teensy tiny little bear holding onto his little foot, and it's the last piece of die cutting. I've cut 2 clouds from vellum and 1 cloud from just scrap white cardstock. This is Scotch vellum tape. As you can tell by the yellow plastic, this thing is about, it's over a decade. I've had this maybe 12 years. It's a great adhesive. It doesn't show through the vellum, but if you can't get your hands on this, because I don't even know if they make it anymore, a Xyron sticker maker is really good for putting adhesive on the back of vellum, which is great. I am going to bling it up with a little bit of Wink of Stella, just the clear one, just to give the clouds, help them stand out a little bit. And then I've added a variety of green and clear gems all across my piece. I used a black glaze pen for the teddy's nose and eyes, and also for the boy's eyes. Just gives them a little bit more darkness. And here is the finished card. So if you are looking for this Carried Away Mama Elephant set here in Australia, you can find it at dawnlewis.com.au. I have adhesive and a few other goodies in there as well, and this is the set that you're looking for. I do hope you have a very crafty day. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.